Area 9. 9 areas, 9 plus 1 trainers. No, that doesn't work. Anyway. Wait a minute, though. This is Zone 81, which is 9 times 9. So, this battle is the closest thing to 999 we'll be getting. So, this is Battle 999. The Zero Battle. I actually have not played those games, but I pretty much have spoiled myself from their entire storyline, so I can't really play them. Well, I don't know. I know the least about... Right, I'm just gonna go ahead and reflect. I know the least about Virtue's Last Reward out of the 3 of them, so that's the one I'm probably most likely to play at some point, but I don't know. It kind of turns me off that the third one is rated R18+ in Australia for apparently extreme gore. I never really liked it when a series that was not like, I don't know, like, I think in America all of them were always M, but in Australia, I know that at least Virtue's Last Reward is only the equivalent of T. But yeah, like, sometimes it bothers me when a series, this is completely unrelated to anything, but uh-oh. That's my main answer to Heracross. It's now asleep. That could be bad. I'm gonna go ahead and switch you out. But yeah, when a series just suddenly jumps in rating, like, out of nowhere, it's kind of hard for people, like, getting into the series when it's like that. So, like, one example of that is, Kill La Kill in Australia. The ratings jump all over the place in the DVDs for that. Like, the first few are just M in Australia, which is the equivalent of, actually, America doesn't have different ratings systems. It's like, M is like the equivalent of T for video games. And then a few of them are NA, which is the equivalent of the video game M, just with the age rating being 15+ rather than 17+. Yeah, the Heracross is definitely a bigger threat here. And then all of a sudden, one of its volumes is R, like as in restricted adults only. And then the one after that is NA again, and then the last one is just M. So, it's... yeah, very, very weird. Like, I know what it was. Like I know that one volume that is R for a reason, and I definitely don't want to explain exactly why it would be R, because that definitely... I like to... oh, you're just spamming Earthquake, okay. I like to keep, like, what I discuss and things like that to be within the age rating of the game that I'm covering. Although I guess I discuss Fire Emblem stuff in Pokemon sometimes, and that's not exactly within. But anyway, yeah. But, like, the exact kind of content that caused that thing to be rated R, I know what it is, and I definitely should not be describing that kind of thing in detail in a Pokemon video, let's just say. But I mean, thinking about it, like, the Pokemon movies did that too, because the first 2 were rated G over here, and then the third movie was PG. Speaking of which, for some reason... oh, I don't know, some people might not like me talking about Odyssey, because it's a fairly recent game, and I guess that could qualify as spoilers, but, like, for some reason, Odyssey has a higher rating in almost every country than your average Mario game does, despite the fact that there's really not that much in it to justify that. The realistic T-Rex is probably the only thing, I guess, scary enough to warrant a higher rating, I'd say. Anyway, I should probably pay attention to the actual battle itself instead of talk about weird tangents. But this battle is down. But it didn't go smoothly. Probably my introduction, like a good introduction to Area 9 then. Things have finally got somewhat challenging. It only took them 80 battles to do so. Not really sure what's going on with this team, but I know that this lady's battle intro quote is pretty much like 80% of the Japanese Fire Emblem Awakening critical quotes. They're all some variant of prepare yourself. It's weird, they love that expression in Japanese for some reason. It's some variant of kakugo something something something, depending on what kind of speech style they're using. Anyway, I've had a lot of trouble with Raichus in these areas. Let's see. I'm I'm just gonna Fire Blast that. I don't even want to bother going for Mirror Code. Okay, you survived that. But I evidently should have gone for Mirror Code. And I got the one time that I don't go for Mirror Code, you get a crit Thunderbolt. I mean, you actually go for an attacking move and it's a crit. It's like the... Actually, wait a minute. The AI can read your inputs, can't it? Yeah, maybe it was using those non-attacking moves because it knew that I was using Mirror Code. That's interesting. Okay, I think Dan Green will survive that. Just barely, though. They did a lot more than I thought it would. Okay, I need to be careful here. Oh, no matter what I do, I'm at serious risk of losing someone here. I think I'm going to switch you out and try and Fire Blast that Shiftry. Yeah, Shiftry is base 80 speed, Entei is 95. Well, actually, wait, isn't it 100? I think it's 100, actually. Oh, I could miss! Okay then, let's see what your hidden power is. Not for it. Huh. Okay, so what would that be? That's either Grass, Fire... Okay, let's make sure that thing doesn't get a chance to use Solar Beam. But yeah, that's either Grass, Fire... Also, that's surprisingly high HP for a Shiftry, now that I think about it. Although, I am used to level 50 HP milestones, not level 100 ones, so... Oh, I mean, not level 61 ones. I mean... So maybe that is kind of average for a level 61, I'm not sure. But yeah, that was either Fire, Grass, Ice. So, one of those. I need more evidence in terms of which it actually is, but hopefully we won't get a chance to see it use it again. And it's not like it's really that... Because water types usually have hidden power electric. But yeah, I guess we'll never know. I'm trying to think, because yeah, like a lot of... Oh, okay. Well, at least Focus Band... Okay, that's good, because there was... that proves me wrong. Well, why are you using Hidden Power? Well, I forgot that Hidden Power can be visible in this generation, but... Okay, so super effective. That could have been... But I'm sure Miltank learned Shadow Ball anyway, so why would you be using Hidden Power Ghost? Flying. That could have been flying as well. Ah, the Hidden Power guessing game. Also, don't use Shadow Ball. That would be stupid. But it's not going to matter anymore. Yeah, so earlier that Ralts that survived with 1 HP, that would not have been a Focus Band because it didn't say hung on using the Focus Band. There is actually an animation for that in the GBA games, but not here. It just is described in text. So we've had one definite Bright Powder and one Focus Band, so we're starting to see hacks items. Joy. Him saying that he'll collect data from us when you think of Modot's analyzed cubes in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I know that he's probably too silly, but I still really wish that Modok would show up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe at some point. You know, when I first saw Iron Man 3 and that guy introduced himself as being from AIM, I was at first really excited because I thought that he'd actually turn out to be Modot. No, Modot is not his official name, Modok is his official name, but I just call him Modot out of habit. Yeah, it's supposed to be mental organism designed only for killing, but the memes call him mental organism designed only for trolling. Which I guess kind of fits, so... I have not been lucky with high jump kicks so far. But yeah, I was a little disappointed when Modok did not turn out to be the big bad of Iron Man 3. That would have been amazing. I mean, I looked up after the movie and it turns out the guy from AIM in that one was not the guy who becomes Modok. So, yeah. This is kind of a weird tangent, but I just remembered that speaking of superhero movies, I actually went into The Dark Knight not knowing that Harvey Dent was Two-Face. Like, I didn't, like, I knew about of the character Two-Face from the comics, but I didn't know he was originally known as Harvey Dent. Like, I didn't know that's who he was before he became a villain. So, like, I managed to figure it out ahead of time. That was what was going to happen, because the foreshadowing was kind of clear, and the moment that he said, "What did they used to call me?" I was like, "Oh, they used to call you Two-Face, didn't they?" That's when I realized, but, yeah, I realized after the movie that, oh yeah, anyone who's read the comics would have found that a foregone conclusion, and that was dumb. Why did I do that? I should focus less on tangents and more on actually winning. Because that thing's probably going to Shadow Ball somebody. Yes, it is! That's somebody here gone, almost certainly. I mean, you were severely weakened anyway, but yeah. Yeah, someone talked about Thor Ragnarok in the comments. I'm still going on tangents, but yeah. Someone talked about Thor Ragnarok in the comments recently, and it was kind of interesting because I looked up some stuff from that film after I saw it, and there's a lot of it that is actually taken directly from the comics. Like, even some shots are direct homages to certain shots from the comics, so it's just like, I find it interesting, like, being someone who's never read the comics growing up, or, like, period. I mean, I can enjoy the films as films, but it's interesting that, like, I'll never get all of the little references and shout-outs and allusions they do in those films. This is kind of an interesting team, I guess. Okay, I don't want to speak too soon, but I have a slight idea of what your gimmick is. The reason I said I don't want to speak too soon is because the last time I guessed what someone's gimmick was, I was wrong. It was in prison, and I thought it was Grudge and Destiny Bond. But this one, I'm wondering if it's Guts and statusing yourself, because a lot of their Pokemon have Guts, and she has things like Wheezing that could potentially status things, so we'll find out, I guess. Yep, it's definitely Guts, I was right. Because at first I was thinking, huh, Ninjas doesn't really fit that pattern, and then I was like, but you know, a lot of things can learn Toxic, and that's what they did. Yeah, this is one of the main ways that you had to abuse Guts in this generation, other than Rest Sleep Talk, because there were no Toxic or Flame Orbs back then, so you basically had to rely on statusing yourself. Yeah, this is definitely a Guts-based team. But for some reason it has Attract. I don't know why, but it does. I was worried about Facade for a second, but evidently I didn't need to be. I'm looking forward to XD, where we actually have access to a lot of the TMs from Gen 3, because almost all of the Gym Leader TMs are missing from this one. And while some of them, they're really not that bad, others, I really miss things like Facade. Like, Facade would have been pretty cool, things like Makahita. And Suicune is not going to be that useful here, so I guess I can go out to Kickface here. Yeah, Shockwave also would have been useful to have. Though I don't think Soul can learn that. Rock Tomb also wouldn't have been bad on some Pokemon. I'm actually kind of sad that, starting with... I mean, I know that there's only so many new moves they can introduce, but it used to be that pretty much every generation, the TMs that you got from Gym Leaders were always... That passes Toxic Poison, right? Not normal poison. Anyway, I'm not... We'll find out, I suppose. But yeah, it was usually that the Gym Leaders would always give out a new move of their type as their TM, but starting with a lot of later generations, they'd just give out the same stuff, like the Rock Gym Leaders would always give Rock Tomb, and I kind of miss that. I wish that they'd actually come up with some, like, I know that in X and Y a few of them gave new moves, like Infestation, Power Up Punch, and Dazzling Gleam, but others gave the same old moves, so... Or maybe even not a new move, but one that's never been a TM before, like maybe... I was about to say Psyshock, and then I realized, oh wait, Psyshock is a TM, isn't it? I'm pretty sure Psyshock is a TM. Hey, we're actually starting to see legendaries here! Which is why I find the Poké Coupon cutting rule if you use legendaries a bit annoying, because doesn't apply to these people. Okay, well, you didn't use the legendary there, but this guy does have a Registeel. Registeel is a Pokemon that, I don't know, I don't find it to be that bad. I kind of wish it was used a little bit more. I was not supposed to leave with Jumpluff. I misclicked on the controller, and I did not bring Kick Face at all. Okay, this is now... This has suddenly got a little bit more dangerous. Because I meant to leave with Kick Face and well, that's got even more dangerous now. Okay, thankfully Fire Blast didn't miss, otherwise we would have been in real trouble. I don't think this is going to KO though. Oh, no it did, okay. I'll definitely take that. Glad to have Metagross off the field. Because that thing might have tried to Earthquake. We'll see what Amaldo does. Well, yeah, he went... Why did you do that while Metagross was on the field? Then again, I mean, the AI in this game is not exactly smart with Relay Earthquake, so... Oh, that's not good. Well, at least Jumpluff's immune to that. Yeah, I'm gonna go switch out to Suicune. Because I don't want to be taking another Earthquake. Okay, well, I mean, I guess... No, the Metagross obviously didn't protect there, so he was still an idiot. But at least we don't know Earthquake this turn. Also, did anyone else back then, I mean, I know it's a bit harder to think they went Armaldo rather than Anorith, which definitely does look more like that, but did anyone else think that the red parts on the top of their head was Armaldo's eyes and not the eye stalks in the sides? What am I doing? I'll just hit you and then I'll ice the Credilli, even though this... Of course, you wake up immediately, and that was actually, that was a Quick Claw. Because you obviously weren't the fastest thing on the field before, so that was a Quick Claw. I think I've counted at least 3 Quick Claws so far. I mean, at least that Quick Claw didn't really do much, and thankfully Sandstorm doesn't buff the special defense of Rock types in this gen, so that's not going to have its damage lowered at all. What's the Credilli going to do, though? Barrier. That's not really going to help you very much. I would have been using special moves on you anyway. If that Sandstorm did have the defense boost, special defense boosting effect, though, that Credilli would have been pretty scary. There's a Battle City in XD that always annoys me. It's where you have to beat a boost spamming Credilli by getting a critical hit. The problem is, with my luck, I often go through that fight and never get a critical hit, and I just lose. Like, the point of that Battle CD is it's meant to be teaching you that critical hits ignore defense boosts, which is a good thing to teach you, but when you're unlucky and just lose that fight repeatedly because you just cannot get a critical. And you have Slash and your Pokemon, well, not Slash, actually I think it is Slash, yeah, you have Slash and your Pokemon is holding the scope lens, and still, I think it took me about 5 attempts of that CD before I got a single critical hit. And you have about 5 chances in the fight to get a crit too. So, yeah. Another example of my luck screwing me over. There are a couple of battle CDs in XD that are based on luck, but there is one that is definitely very, very fun. Guess I can say it now, it's the metronome battle. It's always pretty hilarious to see that happen. To see just what hilarious things will end up happening due to metronome. I was just wondering for a second if the Twitch plays Pokemon intermission, like, betting on PBR stuff, which has ironically become more popular than... Oh, there's Registeel. A lot of these trainers with legendaries, from what I've read, are programmed to send out their legendaries last. But, yeah, so, like, that thing that's become more popular than the regular Twitch plays Pokemon. I wonder if they've ever done a metronome fight. They probably have. Like, they've done tens of thousands of battles so far. I love the one, like, I've seen one where a Canopy ends up sweeping a team. And the odds were, like, something like 10,000 to 1 or something like that. It was the same with a Magikarp, a Canopy, and something else terrible versus a couple of kind of strong Pokemon, and they actually managed to win. And also, Registeel does look kind of cool. Now I'm remembering the, like, I haven't actually seen the film, I've just seen the, like, on YouTube, this is gonna do pretty much nothing, but it doesn't really matter. The clips of these cries on YouTube, but the way they did the Regi's cries in the Lucario movie sounds kind of insane. They're basically dubstep. Before dubstep was really a thing, but yeah. Registeel is 150 base on both defenses, I believe, so it's the one that's bulky on both sides of the spectrum. And it's kind of, I think it's like 75 base on both offenses. Because I know the others like 100 base in their main offense relating to their main defense, and then 200 base in their main defense, and then 100 in the other defense, I think. You don't see the Regis used that much anymore. They were kind of alright in... Well, I mean, Regi Ice was amazing in Gen 3. Regi Steel was, I believe, a decent Yu-Yu, and I think Regi Rock was similar. Then they just kind of dropped, like, no one really thought about them much anymore. I probably already talked about this when I did Oras, but just, like, nothing will really compare to the sheer mystery that was discovering the Regis for the first time as a kid. Note to self, from here on, everyone has a Regi. This guy has Regi Rock. Botken. So like Bokten, which would be kind of like Boktai, which I only realized recently stands for Bokutachi no Taiyo, which is like our sun. And then its crossover content got removed from Battle Network because the series flopped outside Japan. Alright, let's see what we got here. Conserve that. And I was worried the Swampert would come out because that's exactly why I didn't want to... what can I do with that Swampert? I'm just going to go ahead and protect. Not sure if this will one-shot the Blaziken or not, we'll see. I wish there was an easy way to check exactly how much effort points all of my Pokemon from Colosseum had. That's why I love how they did it in Sun and Moon. I still love how Blaziken's Reese's flare up whenever I do certain animations that it does. See, it's not like, oh no, Cursepert, really? That's like an actual competitive moveset that Swampert often uses. And we're in a bad shape now, because Sunny Day is up. It's kind of not really good grammar, but oh well. Oh! Okay, you're Endure Reversaling, aren't you? I really should have brought Jump Lock to this. Curse Swampert is pretty terrifying to go up against. I mean, back in Gen 3, that thing was insane. But even with some, this should probably finish off Blaziken. Yeah, not much of Swampert, that's kind of what I figured. But, oh wait, no, Endure. Well, of course. Yeah, be thankful that Endure works on everything that hits you in the same turn, otherwise that would have been a stupid move on your part. Uh-oh, this could one-shot Entei, actually. Yeah, thought so. And yeah, there's the Endure. It's kind of cool whenever Endure activates when you're at 1 HP, because it means that you take no damage from the attack at all. But I didn't see any kind of Salak Berry from you. That's usually what's Endure Reversal... I spoke too soon! Salak Berry triggers after weather, okay. So you do have a Salak Berry. Right. You know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to Surf, and I'm going to protect Soul, because I don't want Soul to eat a potentially painful attack. Yeah, there's the reverse, and it's going into Suicune, of course it is. And it KOs me. Okay, I was dumb that turn. What I should have done was, I should have Psychic the Swamp, or you're gonna... Oh, that's really nasty. You are annoying. Both of you are really annoying. Yeah, and of course it'd be a Chesto Berry. I am potentially in trouble here, because I've only got 2 Pokemon left to your all 4. Detecting, and I'm just gonna finish the Blaziken. Please tell me that I am faster than it even with Salak Berry. I am still faster than it even with Salak Berry. That is surprising. I mean, I suppose you only have 80 base speed, but still, I mean, I'm kind of surprised. This is a non-EV trade Espeon. Ah, that's what I wanted Dan Green for. Okay, well, at least I can take souls in the fact that that's not going to stop, and the sun's up too, it's taunting me. But yeah, and the fact that that's not going to be reducing damage psychic is going to do. Because that Swampert is... Oh, great. You're going to just Earthquake and KO everyone, aren't you? I probably should have double targeted you now that I think about it, even though I don't think Hyphen Peak would have finished you off. Oh, that's not going to be... I probably should have... No, should I have protected Soul? I'm not sure. Please don't go for... Okay, well, I might actually lose this. I might have to use the first of my continues here, because if Swampert goes for Earth, yeah, I've probably lost this. Yeah, I had a feeling that I'd be losing at least once. Now I know that thing has Curse. Yep, that is my first loss. Gotta make sure that I actually choose to use my continue. Yeah, everyone actually does have win quotes here, and win animations too. Which you probably don't get to see that much in the main story. So, let's try that again. 80 continues! Yeah, you bet I want to use a continue. Okay, I'm leading with Jump Off now. Something tells me you are not going to lead with Swampert, now that I've done that. No, you are going to lead with Swampert, and you changed your leads too, so I'm kind of surprised you didn't change the Swampert lead. Okay, I should be able to do this now. I mean, I suppose having your first loss in Area 9 is really not that bad. I knew I'd lose in the later battles at least once. Haven't even got to the Regi Ice Trainer yet, because there's inevitably going to be a Regi Ice Trainer here. Giga Drain you, and just for good measure, that Swampert is going down now. Because I don't think Giga Drain will finish it off in one shot. Huh, Solid's faster than Jump Off. That's interesting. Yeah, so wait, Espeon is 110 base speed? And Jump Off I think is also 110. I keep thinking... Oh, wait, no, isn't Jump Off 105? Not entirely sure, but whatever. I was faster. And someone's going to be taking a very powerful return because this is... Yeah, well, good survival there. And everything is female, so my Attractor's not going to work. Okay, yeah, I need to neutralize that Skarmory, because if I am going to go ahead and switch in, I don't have Kick Face here, right. Change of plans. Let's, neutralize that. Doesn't really matter what I do here. Soul is probably going to go down, but doesn't really matter, I'm not too... Bright Powder! Or Lax Incense, or whatever. Oh, of course the 75% accuracy move hits, but the 100% accuracy move misses due to Bright Powder. Yeah, I thought you'd be going for that. That is actually an egg move for Skarmory. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but fun fact, Drill Peck is actually illegal with Whirlwind with Skarmory. The concept of illegal egg move combinations isn't really, like, a lot of modern Pokemon fans don't understand that, because the way that things work now, both parents can pass down egg moves. Back in Gen 3, only the father could pass down egg moves. So, because Drill Peck, I believe, comes from Dodrio, and Whirlwind comes from Pidgeot, I think? I'm just going off the top of my head, I could be totally wrong here. But that's at least where I think those moves originate from. So, it's like, if you've got a male Dodrio and a female Skarmory, so you breed a baby Skarmory that has Drill Peck. But, since this Skarmory cannot itself pass Drill Peck unless it's male, and because offspring are always the same species as the mother, there is no way to get both, to get two egg moves from different families onto the same Pokemon. So, like, for example... Uh-oh, where'd you rock? That's not good for a Dangreen, but it is good for Jump Off. So I'm gonna go out to Suicune now. So it's like, okay, so say that you want to, like, you get that male Skarmory with Drill Peck. Then you breed a male Pidgeot with a female Skarmory, get a female Skarmory with Whirlwind. So now you can breed these two Skarmories, because they're male-females, they're compatible. But because females can't pass down egg moves, the female Skarmory with Whirlwind is useless, and you only get Drill Peck inherited. And because of that, you can't have both Drill Peck and Whirlwind on the same moveset on Skarmory back in Gen 3. That was changed later on. Although, the exception to that rule, though, is any... Oh, no. Even with the speed boost, I don't think you're going to be outspeeding anything anytime soon, so I think I should feel confident just doing this. Yeah, so anything in the ground egg group, it's sometimes called field. Basically anything that can breed Smeargle. Because Smeargle can know any combination of moves that it wants, you can just put any egg moves you... Stupid bright powder. You can just put any egg moves that you want on that Smeargle, and as long as you breed it with a female Pokemon, you will always get whatever egg moves you want onto the offspring. So that's why any Pokemon in the ground egg group, they were all very, very lucky, because they were exempt from the illegal egg move rules. Everything else, though, not so lucky. But yeah, I think starting with Gen 5, they changed it so that both parents can pass down egg moves, and that made it so that you could do exactly what I said, and in that case, the male Skarmory offspring would pass down Drill Peck, the female would pass down Whirlwind, and you'd get a baby Skarmory that had both Drill Peck and Whirlwind. So yeah, back then, because Whirlwind was always used over Roar, due to Roar being blocked by Soundproof, Skarmory's in competitive usually use Hidden Power Flying instead of Drill Peck. Revenge! I have avenged my loss against you. That was only Battle 86 too, wow, this is, yeah, things have suddenly spiked up in difficulty, no doubt thanks to the stupid bright powder. Also, your intro quote predicted Sakura Origami. Yeah, I know, for someone who claims not to like Danganronpa, I certainly reference it a lot, but it's still really not my kind of thing, but yeah. Anyway, okay, I think I used the right lead combination for this. Let's hope that, and weirdly enough, you don't have Regi Ice. And I'm outspitting a Crobat, that's, well, to have a hasty nature, but again, non-EV trained, I'm kind of surprised, though. I was about to say that Crobat has more HP than I'd expect, but again, it's the whole thing about being at level 61 instead of level 50. I'm used to the level 50 stat milestones. That much HP is good for level 50, but probably fairly average for, I mean, that HP is definitely low for 61 though. That's low HP even for level 50. Another Earthquake spammer. So this is coming from a Pokemon with not a fantastic attack stat. You know what, I can go with the exact same combination of moves I used last time, because this is probably going to carry the X-Cloud. Yeah, there goes X-Cloud. And slacking. We've seen a few slackings here. And slacking is surprising, well, not surprisingly, it is pretty fast, so let's see if we can get a high jump kick in before it does something bad. Last time it swagged its partner. Will this slacking actually attack? Another high jump kick miss. Why is it that I'm only starting to miss high jump kick when it actually matters? As in, like, these later rounds. It's really strange, unless this thing also has Bright Powder or Lax Incense. It might. Because more things are starting to use those. Maybe that's why I'm missing more often. I don't know, I guess I'll never know unless I look them up. Cut? Of all the moves you could be using, Cut? If that wasn't Cut, Sol would have fainted there. And you're loafing around, so yeah, you're gone this turn. But it is annoying that I'm only starting to miss high jump kick now, of all times. Like I said, when it actually matters. Okay, on to 88. We're still not done with this area, not by a long shot. Again, there's no Regi Ice here. But there are a lot of very strong Pokemon, and okay, that's an okay lead combination. Unless Alakazam Psychics kick face and one-shots him. That Hariyama's probably going to fake out someone now I think about it. Actually, no, wait. Just trying to think if Alakazam could learn fake out or not. Probably confusing with the fact that it has inner focus, so it's actually immune to being, well, I mean, it takes damage from fake out still, but it's not like it. I thought you'd do that. But I'm glad that I actually went for an attack on Soul, because if I'd gone for Soul Protecting, I would have done nothing this turn. Because I'd expected the fake out would have been aimed at Soul. So let's see what Alakazam does. Swallow. Another one of those. Well, okay then. Okay, depends on if you have physical moves or not. But even then, actually no, I was going to say the double on your attack stat is not going to have that much of an impact, but I mean, Metacham's attack stat is only base 60, and it still has a huge impact being doubled, so... I'm glad I one-shot that Swallow, because otherwise Kick Face might have gone down to a flying move. Roleplay is kind of a useless move. It's generally better to just use a Trace Pokemon for that. Aha! So, if that was Gen 4, you would have had the boost from Pure Power there. Also, you just burned yourself. But no, it is Gen 3, and thus, I mean, like, that's actually a much better move on Alakazam in Gen 3, thanks to, yeah, special Pokemon really love the elemental punches before the physical special split. Pokemon like Typhlosion, Alakazam, they all love them. And that Miltank is all you have left, so... to quote Xenoblade, well, to paraphrase a Ricky quote from Xenoblade Chronicles, Wes like fighting easy trainers, especially after all of those, well, I spoke too soon. Yeah, this is kind of a running theme later on, and that's definitely Soul Painted. Nope. Oh, but Burn. Yeah, Burn. I mean, unless they focus banned again, I still won this, but that was annoying. That actually cost me a perfect win. Yeah, that is kind of the theme from here on. So many Hax items. I'm really glad they greatly diminished the presence of those in later generation battle facilities. Thanks to them introducing a lot more useful competitive items, but here it's just like... That's why I personally, like, I actually am a fan of item claws in later gens, but in Gen 3, I definitely don't think item claws should be in play, because there are just not enough items. And having item claws in Gen 3 often just enforces Hax item spam, because they're the only items you can really find. Okay, there is a Shedinja on this team, but unlike the earlier rounds of Mount Battle, I need to be much more careful with my team. I need to make sure that I conserve something that can hurt Shedinja in reserve. Because this being this late into Mount Battle, there's a Togetic here for some reason, but being this late into Mount Battle, there is a very good chance that I could lose all my Pokemon, well, all my Pokemon that can hurt Shedinja before Shedinja comes out, and that's probably exactly the thing this guy is counting on, so I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen. I have both Dan Green and Luna in reserve, both of them can hurt. I see why the Togetic is here. Nice move, even though you're probably still gonna... yeah, go down. Well, at least you did your job. That means the Absol is in play for one turn. How is that Absol going to be using its brief moment of survival? Let's find out. Huh. I think that's the first time I've seen Substitute this whole game. But yeah, the Substitute doll looks pretty much the same way that it does in other games. I'm gonna hide kick the Golduck. That was a Quick Claw. You're gonna hear me saying that a lot, but obviously that was a Quick Claw because you... What is up with the fact that I'm only missing High Jump Kick now? I could have gone for as many High Jump Kick misses as you would have, like, as you could have done game earlier when it didn't matter, but now... Well, that's at least comforting. And I don't think that Golduck would have Follow Me. It does get a special move in XD, but not here. Which, I don't think it was Follow Me. I think it might have been Helping Hand. Well, there's the Shedinja. Yeah, so, no damage to the Shedinja there. I still find it funny that back in the original Ruby and Sapphire, there was a trainer who sometimes showed up in contests, and it's kind of weird, like, oftentimes and this is exactly why I kept this Pokemon that can hurt Shedinja in reserve, but often the Pokemon that AI trainers would use in contests, their nicknames would all be just rearranging the syllables of the Pokemon's name, but there was a Ninjask, I remember this very clearly, there was a Ninjask in one of the, who sometimes showed up in contests, that was nicknamed Shedja, which obviously was meant to be a Shedinja, not a Ninjask. I don't think any in-game trainer back in Ruby and Sapphire used Shedinja at all. It was like a pretty secret Pokemon you wouldn't know about unless you evolved Nincada with a Ninjask in your party. With a spare slot in your party, basically. I don't know why I mess up my words when it comes to the Nincada and Ninjask. That's actually kind of a funny animation. I didn't know that Golduck had a specific animation for Tail Whip. But yeah, for some reason I often mix up my words when I'm talking about Nincada, Ninjask, and Shedinja. Because it's like, Shedinja is considered an evolution of Nincada, even though, like, in terms of gameplay, it's really not. And I think it inherits the nature and IVs of the Nincada that produced it, if I'm remembering correctly. And can you believe we aren't done with this area? Last battle in Area 9. Wow, the difficulty spike was huge here. This guy has the Regice, by the way. I had a feeling the area leader would be the one with the Regice. So, I'm going to go for a bit of survivability here, just because I feel like I probably need it. And that was a good lead for me, because I believe I led with Dan Green. Yes, I did. Good. I love how, because I have an exclamation mark in Dan Green's nickname, I have a double exclamation mark at the end of that line. So, let's go for you and let's... Nope, not Iron Tail. Let's just destroy the Magneton. I'm pretty sure this guy has a Rain Team. Regice learns a lot of electric moves, and a lot of them like using Rain Dance Thunder because that also mitigates their fire weakness. Yeah, and many of these trainers with legendaries are programmed to use their legendaries last. Waterfall. Okay, good, they didn't feign me. That did a lot more than I expected. Nice job, Luna. I probably need to... my remaining Pokemon can't really handle, taking switch-in attacks, so I'm going to Protect here. Thunder. Good call there. Great call there! Yeah, I don't think the Electro would explode while Starly was still in the field and wasn't using Protect, so... Yeah, I thought you'd be sending out Regice last, or Regice, or... I call it Regice, but there's no second I there. I was just always under the impression that having a second I there would look stupid, but it's still pronounced Regice. But anyway, I don't know what Luna should even do here. I'm just going to go ahead and Toxic that, because I feel confident that Kickface can destroy that Regice when Kickface comes out. I'm not too bothered by that. I don't think Kickface will be coming out into anything particularly dangerous. Just gonna go for Toxic here. Just for a bit of extra... Nice close-up there! Alright, yeah, there's the Rain Dance. So, Thunders are always going to hit me. But this isn't Gen 4 where there's a glitch that causes Thunder to sometimes hit through Protect while it's Rain boosted. I don't even know how that would have worked, because it's definitely a glitch. The way that it works is that moves have, like, the percentage chance they have of breaking through Protect is equal to how much their accuracy was raised. So, because Thunder has a base accuracy of 70, and... so in Rain it becomes 100. it has a 30% chance of penetrating Protect. It's really weird, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't intentional. Like, a lot of people mistook it for an intentional game mechanic at first, but it's not. Nice crit there. Luna's been doing really well in this battle. I mean, I'm not going to get a perfect win here, but I'm still doing better than I expected I would. Another Citrus Berry. Yeah, so Citrus Berry, yeah, wasn't that good in this generation, which also means that in Item Clause, there was just less reason to use that. Probably should have detected now when I think about it. But we survived anyway. Got paralyzed, but I think the Electrode will faint this turn. Well, will definitely faint this turn. If this hadn't worked, then it probably would have gone down from a combination of Feint Attack and Toxic Damage, I think. And there goes Electrode. So, that battle wasn't that bad, but I guess it could have gone a lot worse. So let's go and grab our Poker Coupons, and yeah, you can tell that it's kind of weird. Mount Battle is mind-numbingly easy for the first, like, 70 battles, and then it suddenly spikes up in difficulty a lot right at the very end. It is a bit weird. This video is a lot longer than the others, but, yeah, next time is the end. The last area of Mount Battle. So I'll see you for that.